I just finished kind of an estimate. I mean, I had already given a price to a property manager for a property. And at the time, because I have another account I've done with the property manager, to where she had prepaid me, and this thing's caught. Oh my, that's what's going on. I was under the assumption that this other property that I shot her a estimate for was kind of going to be the same deal. Well, it wasn't. She forwarded all my emails to the person renting the house, which is fine. I mean, I didn't say anything in there inappropriate or anything. The discount I had offered was more for her to bring more properties, and I guess it did. So I guess I'm not complaining about anything. I mean, I bid this property correctly. I will make money on this property, even with the discount, because I offered, I tried the prepay discount, and so I offered a 10% discount for a 30 mo prepay. That was not who I thought that was. So, 30 mo prepay, 10% discount, works out to about 3 free mows. That's over the course of the whole season. So I was like, you know what? I can handle that. That's what the property manager had bid on. And I'm saying bid. When I offered her that sold it, was a 10% discount for a 30 mo prepay. Well, this renter, I just showed up, and she's like, oh, let me show you the backyard and everything. And I'm like, well, I've already looked at it on Google. And I was like, I've already measured it on Google. I was like, really? She's like, well, how can you bid something without seeing it? And I was like, I already threw the bid out there. I was like, but let's go take a look at it. I was like, really, all I need to see is make sure you haven't put any water features in or anything. There hasn't been anything done to it since Google last flew over. And it hadn't. It looked exactly the same. And I was like, oh, that's my bid. We're good. And then I start talking, because she's the renter. And I was like, I offer, I was like, you've seen the emails. Sorry. I think I have an Altoid. I'm looking for a coffee shop before I go to my marketing meeting. Like, you see my emails, so you know my discount for 15 and 30 mows. I do a 5% for 15 mo prepay. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, if you want to more go with a pay-as-you-go kind of model. And I started to go into how, on pay-as-you-goes, I invoice every other mow. I'm sticking with that. It worked out well last year. I got through the season, and nobody owes me money. So I'm going with it. It worked out. Don't fix it if it ain't broken, right? So, and as soon as I started telling her, though, she's like, no. She goes, you don't even have to give me your whole spiel. She goes, we're just going to prepay for the season. I was like, oh, I was like, 30 mows, and the discount. She's like, yeah. She goes, that's what we want to do. She goes, I don't have to remember to pay you. She goes, I trust you. She let me come in her house, and, she let me come in her house, and she got this huge dog. It comes running right up to me. And I don't know if that's the way she was making her decision until she just watched. And dogs love me, I guess. I was playing with her dog, and she's like, nope, I trust you. I'm going to prepay you and you come when you want. She goes, if you let me know the day before you're going to come up. She's like, I'll go out and do poop patrol. She goes, that way you don't have to deal with it. She goes, you don't have to be here on a given day every week. She goes, you come when you want. Just let me know and I'll pick up the poop for you. I was like, wow. Already started out on the kind of customer I like. Show up when I want. Call the day before or email her the day before and she'll do the poop patrol, which her dog's really big, so I really appreciate that. I mean, totally, pay it up front. I mean, all that. That's awesome. So there's another account down. So I've picked up 2 accounts in 2 weeks. I know that's not some big impressive number. But oh, by the way, I once I start eating alkaloids, I'm addicted to them. So I don't want to go that way. So anyway, there we go. 2 weeks, 2 customers, both already prepaid for the season. So, well, one's got a check's got to clear, but still. Thumbs up. I did have a call from another customer who was a customer from last year, and I don't know, maybe I got too aggressive with the price hike, but the way it happened, last year I charged this gentleman, I bid him $35 for a cut, way underbid it. That was $35. It wasn't really, there was trimming, no edging, no blowing, just so trim and mow. Bagged. Had to be bagged. This was about, well, I didn't get it, or I don't have it this year, so I know I way underbid it, so I don't have to hear the whole low baller spiel. Last year was my first year in business. So anyway, I bid this guy $35 a month. 35 bucks a cut. And if I remember right, it was like 15,000 square feet of grass. Not the lot, but the grass. So I mean, I was there, and I wasn't using the sulky. I was actually walking with the, but I was cutting it with the 36 Bobcat. But the bagging, I pull a lot of grass off of that lawn. I think I have some videos of that lawn on my stuff already. But anyway, so during the season, and I know it was because he knew I underbid the lawn, he was tipping me. He was tipping me $5 a cut. So $40 for the lawn. Makes things a little better. Well, that $40 included my sales tax, because I didn't take sales tax on top of the price. I had it rolled in, really by accident more than it just happened. It was a new business owner mistake, I guess. It was on me. But anyway, I sent him out a letter to raise the price this year, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm raising my prices to for your lawn to $45. Now, mind you, it's 15,000 square feet of cut, trimmed all the way around the property. There's 10 trees, 5 of which I trim all the way around. The other 5 I trim halfway. Actually, I was trimming it all the way just because I thought it looked ridiculous. But on one side of the house, the trees split the properties. So, but I trim it all the way around. And I run the mower all the way around, even though I'm not cutting the other property. Though I did end up picking that one up too. But anyway, and it's larger. It's probably that's probably 17 or 18,000 square feet. It's a big lawn. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I raised the price. One, because I knew I underbid it. Two, it's a 30-minute drive for me, one way, to do. I had 3 properties on the same street, ended up at 2, went back to 3, back to 2. And one of those was an every other week. So I had one weekly. 30 minutes away. I drove through tons of residential areas here close to my area to get to this other town. But I did it. I started doing it. I wasn't going to drop in the middle of the season. So this year I raised my price. I raised it to $45 plus tax. I swear that was the kicker that sent him over the edge. So he calls me. He's upset. Hey, you raised my price is $18. And I was like, $18? I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. I was like, I'm in my truck. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I was like, but I do believe the letter I sent you has, the price was increased to 45 plus tax, which brings you to like, for that part of town, I think it was like $48. 48 and change. Well, your bid was only $35. I was just giving you the 40 because I'm nice. Oh, and he never picks up his dog poop. He did the first couple times I mowed him. Then after that, and he's got a really big husky, I would come off his property with crap all over my Bobcat. I mean, literally so much dog poo would get on the wheels that it was scraping off onto the mower. I mean, it was bad. And he had some medical issues, so I didn't throw a fit about it last year. But this year I'm like, man, if I have to deal with all that, then it's going to cost. So anyway, he's like, no, 35. I gave you 5 because I was nice. He goes, so you're raising me from 35 to 48. I was like, well, if you want to look at it that way, I'm sorry. I was like, but I have operating costs. I was like, I'd spend that, drop the kids off, get out there, and it would take me, half an hour to get there, about an hour to mow, about an hour to do everything, give or take. Sometimes an hour and a half, especially in the beginning of the season, because the grass grows. I cut him weekly, and I swear the grass would grow 4 inches a week. I mean, it was tall. I was getting better part of a truck bed out of his lawn. So I would go to his lawn, and then when I picked up the neighbor, I'd fill up my truck. So one day, 2 lawns, 1 hour of drive time back and forth, hour to hour and a half to do his lawn, an hour and a half to do the neighbor's lawn. So there I'm at. I'm at 4 hours of my day for 2 yards. Then I should even count a 5th hour because I have to run to the dump, which is on the opposite end of all the cities. About a 45-minute drive from him to the dump. So a full day. So anyway, long story short, I know everybody preaches about tight routes. That was about as loose of a route as you could get, I guess. Obviously, I'm not going to be out there because he told me, he's like, I can get some kid, because he got really upset with me. And he's like, there's no way I'm going to pay that. I'll get some kid to mow my grass. I was like, okay. I appreciate the call. I never got hot with him. From my past, when I was an operations manager, people getting hot with me doesn't, on a phone, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I was like, appreciate the call. I understand. Hope you find someone. That's why the letters went out so early, is so everyone knew what to expect. I was like, I get it. And he just kept going on and on, and I was like, all right. I was like, well, I've got to get to an appointment, so I've got to go. Feel free to call me if you have any questions. Have a nice day. So there you go. That's my day so far in lawn care. Got fired by one before I even got him, I guess. Fired by last year's customer. Then picked up an awesome, and this lawn is completely flat. I'll get some video of it. She'll be cool with me doing video. I should have today. Before I do the first cut, I'll definitely take video. Because the backyard it's all rutted. And she's like, what could cause this? And I was like, well, we haven't had any snow this year, so I can't blame it on snow load. I was like, well, how much did you water? And she goes, our sprinklers are off. And I was like, well, I know that. I live here. I know the irrigation is off. I was like, this past summer, how much did you water? How much are you watering? She's like, oh, we just moved in. I have no idea. So I was like, all right. I told her, I was like, it could be a combination of watering, and I was like, if you look at these ruts, they're this wide. I was like, somebody's been back here on a really big mower. I was like, it looked like a tire. It would probably be for a 36. But with the ruts on how deep they were, because you can tell he cut it the same way every time, and it's the long end of the yard, so I get it. I would cut it the same way every time, except maybe I'd follow the curbing one time, and then I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there, when I mow it. But I think just from how deep the ruts were, I think someone was using a stander on it, because it's rutted pretty good. So I don't know if she's going to want me to roll it out or something, aerate it. We'll see. I didn't try to upsell her. She was in a hurry. She had an appointment, and I wasn't trying to occupy all her time. I just wanted to look at the yard and close the deal. It was easy enough. So there you go. Again, that's my weekend lawn care so far, and it's Tuesday. Later.